Welcome, everyone, to the Cosmere Reads for Season 2, Episode 16. The Sweet
Yay.
16. Sweet 16.
We're
Yeah.
old enough to drive.
Old enough to drive.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Hey. Yeah, and then next week we have Episode 17, which is the last episode of Season 2, because we leave Cell and go to Roshar for the Way of Kings. Stormlight. That should be fun. I'm looking
Wow,
forward
so we're going to season 3. No kidding.
Well, yeah, we're a different planet next
Okay.
not next week, but the week after.
All right. Right, because next week we got to finish out.
Yeah, we gotta finish Emperor Soul, which by the way is one of my favorite novellas that Brandon Sanderson wrote. It's funny, like someone was mentioning the other day, I was watching like a TikTok or YouTube video where someone was talking about how Brandon Sanderson calls these novellas, and if you actually look at word count and page count, any other author would call them novels. Because of how like this would be a novel, but
Now, this one got some awards or something, right?
it did, yeah.
Yeah.
This one did win some awards.
I don't do research.
Yeah.
I make sure I don't spoil anything. But I did remember seeing something that said it just got some like awards and
it did, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, for it to be short by his standards and to get awards like that says a lot. So
yeah, I can't remember what award it won, but it definitely did win some awards.
Okay.
And this was written well after Elantris. It won a Hugo Award.
Oh, it got a Hugo. Oh, no
Yeah,
kidding. That's a huge deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
it won the Hugo Award for Best Novella in 2013.
wow.
So yeah, no, this is
Impressive.
It won a big award.
Mhm,
Hugo
mhm.
Award's no joke in the world.
Yeah, Hugo is huge. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely a big award.
Mhm.
Emperor Soul is like I was telling guys before, that's one of my favorite novellas in the Cosmere, but it's fun just because it's so different.
Mhm.
And I was going to go through and kind of talk about, I guess, some of the things that Sanderson said. And this you'll get to this in the postscript too. I think in the audiobook it has, in the arcades it has the postscript, but it's stuff I can share about how he came up with the idea for it. To write Emperor Soul. Basically during his younger age, as many people know, Sanderson's a Mormon. And when he was younger, he did missionary work in Korea. And he was his book is heavily influenced by Korean culture. And after visiting the National Palace Museum in Taiwan during his time in Korea, he went to Taiwan. He also in Korean cultures as well. There's something that they do in Asian cultures, which is like in the past, like there's a really nice work of art. The emperor would often put their seal on the art as like, I approve of this. And like in Western culture, for like you to go to like a Da Vinci or like a Michelangelo painting or Raphael painting or something like that, and literally graffiti on it would be like, it doesn't matter who you are, what the hell are you doing? But in Asian cultures, it's like even more like they put their stamp of approval on the art.
Right.
And that's kind of what sparked the idea for this.
Okay.
And a lot of the culture here is based around Asian culture. So if you didn't catch that from the names of some of the people, some of that is very Asian influence. But yeah, thought it was just really interesting, that whole idea of writing on art.
Okay.
Putting your stamp.
Yeah, I mean, it starts out like strong on the art, on the art influence. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, definitely. But before we get more into the book, how are you guys doing? How are you holding up? Things good?
I mean, I can't complain. You're still in your house, obviously.
Oh yeah, I guess that's new news. I'm not moving.
Wait,
I ain't going nowhere.
What?
Like Wall Street.
What?
Plot twist.
What happened? I know. Dun, dun, dun.
What
happened?
Get me out of here. No. So I won't go into all the details. I'll go into more details offline. But basically, we had an offer. It fell through. Yeah, so they backed out of the contract. The buyers did over petty stuff, which is fine. It's whatever. Wow. And then, one of the things we realized during the whole process is we were looking for another place. And there's just not much inventory out there right now that fits what we want. There's stuff that fits what we need, and we can like, and I put the analogy, it's like put in a circle peg in a square hole or whatever. Like it would fit all the needs of what we need, but it would not have been a house we wanted. It wouldn't have necessarily been a neighborhood we wanted.
Yeah.
It would have been an okay neighborhood. Now it's a great neighborhood we're in right now.
Yeah.
I
mean, you are in a pretty. I mean, it's a
pretty good
neighborhood that a lot of
Yeah,
people love that neighborhood.
yeah, this neighborhood's highly sought after.
Yeah, and it's just because the camaraderie in that neighborhood.
Yeah, this has a whole sense of a sense of self. This
it really a sense of community there.
Yeah, sense of community. 100%. Like the community I live in is very much like it's very much sense of community.
Yeah.
And we love it here. We've always loved our house. It doesn't fit for us. And we were able to kind of talk through some things and try to figure out some things. And after a lot of soul searching, we are going to renovate. So instead of moving, we took the house off the market. We have contractors coming to drop some plans next week. And then we're probably going to wait till after Christmas to break ground on our renovations. But we're just going to renovate the house and make the house work for us.
Makes sense.
Because the house has enough square footage. It's just not.
Yeah, you guys have a yard. I mean, backyard. You could actually
have a giant backyard.
Yeah,
it's a big house.
Yeah,
it's just that. So like, our house has a lot more like entertaining space, a lot more like, but listen, like bedroom space.
Right.
So we outgrew the bedroom space with how many kids we have, and that's what we were looking for. But all the houses we were looking at were either smaller than the house we're in, but just configured better. I was like, well, we'll just configure our house the way we want it and stay. So.
Your neighborhood has a lot of houses, because I looked at a house in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
A lot of houses that are older houses that have the weirdest configurations I've ever seen. It's like a lot of them need to be like gutted and redone, because it's like there was like one house I went to. I was looking at, the kitchen was so small the refrigerator had to be in the laundry room.
Right. Yeah, they have a lot of that here.
It's like, how does that work?
Because they're so old. And
yeah.
And then people built additions of their house, but then like they did like a different decades and stuff like that. So, like, it's like, even our house is like that. Like the main part of my house was built in the 40s, which is newer for my neighborhood. I mean, most of the neighborhood was built in 1918, 1919.
Oh, okay.
That's when most of the neighborhood was built. But ours was built in the 40s, the main part. But then like where I'm right now, this was built in the 60s. And then we have another section that was built in the 90s. So like there's a hodgepodge of different stuff
right
in the house. So but yeah, going through our whole neighborhood, there's a lot of weird stuff that was done.
Gotcha.
Especially in the old homes that were like, over 100 years old homes.
Right.
Because building code didn't exist back then, so people did weird things.
So Tree, I got all the kinds of questions about what's going on in your background, because it's obviously a new location.
But she's home.
Yeah, I'm back
for you. Okay. Yes. Got you.
Right. It's just my Mealtime art from Uno.
Okay.
Or Kitsunagari on Twitter, I think. Just my bookshelf.
Gotcha. Okay. Good deal. Just a different setting than last time. So.
Yes. Well, last time I was visiting Rise One Shelley.
I thought it was like a family member or something you were hanging out.
Nope.
Okay.
Did she go to JordanCon last year?
I don't think so.
I don't think she did.
I've only known her go to one.
Yeah, 1 year. I remember meeting her at one JordanCon, but I didn't think. Yeah, anyway, she's a big Mealtime fan.
She's the best.
She's good.
She was one of the hosts on Threefold Talk, which is also happening now. So we can never watch. Oh wait, no, actually we're switching to Monday.
Yeah, we're switching.
Which Mondays? Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good time to announce that. So
guys, we're switching to Monday. We're not gonna be Thursday nights anymore. We're Monday nights.
Yeah.
So Monday nights will be Cosmo Reads. Tuesday nights will be the Will Reads, and So, but we're coming to the end of like I said, season end of era. We're leaving Cell behind for greener pastures. I don't know if it's greener. Roshar's pretty dim and dark.
Oh, is it? Oh, another dark and dingy, dusty place.
Well, it is the Cosmere. Cosmere is an interesting place. So, anyways, so that's me in our personal life. Is we're getting ready to renovate our house, and I'm not going anywhere. The big thing that we're trying to debate too is with the renovation, I'm going to lose a dedicated podcasting space. Because there's no way of doing it where we can't. Unless I also renovate my garage or shed, which we've talked about doing, but I'm really hesitant to do that So like my wife and I have been. So who knows? This might change over the next like month or two. But like my whole initial thing was like, I'm not dropping a bunch of money on renovating for a podcast space because I'd rather use that money to go on vacations and have fun with the family. Because I can literally put my laptop anywhere and record on my laptop. Like
sure.
So I don't need to have a dedicated space.
You know how many people record podcasts in their
closets? Exactly. I mean, and that's the whole point. Like I don't need a dedicated space. So we're trying to figure all that out. So
yeah, because I mean, I was gonna set up a podcast space, because last time I did a podcast, I actually had another one of my other home office was the podcast space because it was a closed-in environment. My home office is here. It's 2 wide open entrances, so it's like there's all this airflow, so it never really sounds that clean until I got a better mic.
Yeah.
So this mic, you don't hear echoes, you don't hear like all that stuff, and it's like, and then I just got a better filter on it, and I was like, oh,
there's 2 like buttons on the back, kind of like maybe a mic that I've seen before.
Yeah. You just change the configuration of the mic, and it hones in on certain sound fields.
Exactly.
And you're covered. So,
Yep. I had the same mic.
Mm-hmm.
I totally have one of those fancy mics too. Yeah. Definitely not. Then maybe.
Okay. I'll send you one if you want one.
Sweet.
So we can make that happen. But so over the next few months, I might have different backgrounds every week for a while, especially once renovations start, because I might just be bouncing around, moving different places, which actually might be better because I mean, wherever I move, I'm going to try to get dedicated space, at least dedicated my Ethernet line directly to wherever with laptop or computer.
Right.
I've been actually talking about maybe even selling my computer and getting rid of the PC and just going to laptop again. Just because I don't know where I'm going to put a giant tower. Because
you have to get a giant tower. You can build a small form factor PC.
I know, but it has really, really cool like LED lights and it looks fun.
Oh, but my small form factor computer is hella cool. Remember, it's water cooled.
I know.
RGB lights, cool. The whole deal. Yeah, man.
So Happy said, "Do you think Alonzo want to buy a computer?" I was like, "Hell no, you won't."
Oh my god, no. No offense, but no.
Hell no, you won't.
Oh no. I build mine, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this one's custom made. I put all the specs in it and had
it
built.
I've been really thinking about actually starting up a side hustle building computers. I'm talking about like really high end water cooled PCs.
Oh, cool.
Just because I love it so much and bending tubes and all that kind of stuff.
It's fun.
You put the opaque fluid in there, and it's like you have like pink liquid flowing.
That's cool. I want colors. One. I'm in already.
Oh shoot, Tree! If you want, yep. Because I bet you, with you and your artistic eye, we could come up with some things. Oh shoot, yes, I would love that. Yes,
we're gonna be so rich, Londo.
All right. So what you drinking? What you drinking?
You know what? You would think with me wearing a Woodford Reserve shirt, I'd be drinking Woodford Reserve. I'm actually not. I'm drinking Ezra 99.
I'm back on the Benchmark train, but I did get a bottle
Benchmark, man, I'm telling you right now, I love ABC Store. They got the Benchmark single barrel right now.
It's only like
$20-some.
You might recognize that guy. I finished that last.
I can't tell. Is that a Blanton?
It's Blanton's.
Okay, it's Blanton. Got you.
Boom.
Oh wait, I gotta show you my fancy bottle I got from Colombia. Hold up, just a second.
Oh, cool. Alcohol time.
I'm drinking cherry bubbly.
Cherry bubbly. I have bubbly in my fridge. Doesn't have alcohol though. Ooh, that looks fancy.
I'm not doing alcohol this
Japanese whiskey?
This is my fancy Johnny Walker Blue Label Umami Limited. And look at this. When you open it up, there's the bottle. And they made a label, and it's actually got my initials on it. They actually put my initials in gold.
Mufasa.
So it was so
again.
So it was so cool. Pretty. I saw it in Bogota at the airport, the duty free, and I was like, I've never seen this before. So it actually is not rare. I mean, but considering that, like, I think one of every 10,000 bottles of Johnny Walker becomes blue, and then a fraction of that becomes umami. So I was like, super rare. I got to get it. when else can I get this? And then I got him, I took video of them like engraving my little label and putting it in the bottle and all that stuff. I'm never drinking that, by the way.
Yeah, my dad had one that was a Jameson bottle, and I can't remember what kind it was, but it's not like a normal Jameson bottle. It's Jameson, but he went to Ireland and he went to the Jameson distillery.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a custom bottle that actually had his name in a glass etched into the bottle. It was a limited reserve.
Yeah,
and it was, and I'm gonna say I'm not a huge Irish whiskey fan. I am a huge I love Irish whiskey.
I like Jameson. I've never had a problem with Jameson.
I never had a problem with Jameson either, but this was different.
Yeah,
it was good.
Very good.
I think he still has it. I mean, he hasn't finished it. I mean, it's open, but it's not finished. But I like Irish whiskey. Dead Rabbit Irish whiskey is really good.
Dead Rabbit's really great.
That's really good. Irish
Actually, a bar this in Pocosin put me onto it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really, really good."
That's good Irish whiskey,
and it's not too expensive.
No, it's not. Yep. Yeah, it's harder to find sometimes, but it's good.
Oh yeah, I can never find it. I have to get lucky and shoot a leprechaun to find it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what never works out for me.
Good old bourbon, yay! It's always funny when you meet people from Kentucky. The first thing I ask them is like, "Ooh, bourbon." They're like, "Yeah, I don't drink bourbon." I'm like, "You live in Kentucky, though."
Yeah.
Like, how?
It's like being in Virginia and having what's our wines that we Viognier.
Yeah.
Really popular here. But we can get it all the time. And there's other places, and they're like, "Oh, you guys can have Viognier all the time." And it's like, well,
what's the other big one? Not Cab Sauv. There's another type of wine that's really big in Virginia. They don't have much.
Mainly white wines.
But there is a red wine too. It's a Cabernet.
So there's a Cab Sauv. There's Merlot. There's Pinot Noir. There's
Cabernet Franc.
Cabernet Franc. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Out in the western part of our state, they've lost.
There's a whole story about Cabernet Franc and how it was by accident because they had so many problems with disease of the grapes in France, and then it was by chance they figured out that the actual same grapes could grow here in Virginia. And so it was originally
started in France, and then they had problems in France, and then they started growing it here. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, and it was because you don't realize
Charlottesville
same lateral. So basically, the weather is pretty similar, right?
So in the Charlottesville area, the mountain area of Virginia, you have lots of Cab Franc. It's good stuff.
I remember, I was in a wine tasting class at one point in college because I was doing hospitality management forever ago. And I remember our wine tasting teacher telling us.
Are you a somm? Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Or I love the guy.
I thought about it.
I like the people who think they're sommeliers and they mispronounce it and say sommelier.
Sommelier.
Anyway, I remember her telling us about this disease that was taking over all of these French grapevines. And so what they did was they found out that the Canadian roots were immune to this particular disease. So they actually grafted a bunch of the old French grapevines onto Canadian roots.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I was like, "Yay, go Canada! Saving wine, even though we
those
can't."
Stories are crazy. I mean, and they would have a terrible fire or some weird hurricane thing or something, and it's and they have to find inventive ways to grow the grapes somewhere else, and that's how you find out that something grows in Canada and something grows in Virginia and whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Necessity, the mother of all invention.
Wine country in Canada, or in where I live.
Is there a wine country? Is it on the West Coast?
There's one on the West Coast, but I live in. It's Niagara on the Lake, Vineland.
Okay.
But we do ice wine here mostly.
Oh, okay.
And we do other wine too, but we're known for ice wine.
And ice wine's kind of sweet, right?
It's very sweet. So it's basically
so it's not kind of sweet. It's really sweet.
Yeah, it's grapes that have turned into raisins on the vine and then froze. And then the freezing kind of breaks down the sugars or the molecules in it that just makes it extra syrupy. So it's basically just wine made out of frozen grapes or frozen raisins.
It's a lot better than the Kopi Luwak process, but that's a whole nother thing.
By the what process?
The Kopi Luwak.
Kopi Luwak.
It's the most expensive coffee in the world.
Oh, that's the reason why I don't know it, because I have the caffeine allergy, so I don't.
Yeah, Kopi Luwak.
I know nothing about coffee, people.
It's in Indonesia. There's a cat. They call it like a.
Is that the one that gets eaten by an elephant and then pooped out?
No, it's a tree cat.
I thought it was a tree raccoon or something.
It's a cat. It's like a cat species. It's a luwak, and they eat the coffee beans and they poop it out and they make the coffee out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I
have heard of this.
There's poop involved. There's poop involved.
Got it.
Yeah. There's lots of things like that. Like bananas almost went extinct because of disease. American chestnuts are pretty much non-existent anymore.
Yeah. What elm trees basically? I mean, how many cities have an elm street and elm trees are practically like extinct in the U.S. Right?
Yeah.
So
the American chestnut, I think it was like 85% of the chestnut trees all disease.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, ready to talk about some Emperor's Soul?
Sure.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's talk about it. All right. So we're doing just through day 30. I was going to be chapter 30. It's not chapter 30. It's day 30 because it's all days. I guess chapter 7 if you want to include 1 as prologue. And then we'll be finishing next week. So we're introduced in the prologue to Farava and 3 other arbiters of the Rose Empire. So there's a whole different culture. Kind of thrown right in, and they're debating on what they should do with this person named Shai that they've caught, the forger. And in the beginning of the book, you don't really quickly you figure out what it is, but like they're very frowned upon. They don't like forgers because you learn what forgers can do, and it's kind of like she's a witch, burn her, like kind of thing. As I get the very much the witch vibes.
Build a bridge out of her.
Burn a bridge out of her.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, it was jarring. You know, we've been in like stuff that these like realms that we understand,
right?
And then it's like this is something completely new,
different,
and you're just thrust into it right at the top. And I was like, it was like a head spin, and I was like, what's happening here? And I'm like, this is English, okay? I can understand that. What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
and so it took me a couple chapters to get really acclimated. So
it's tough to get into it. So in this empire you have a couple of main characters. You have Farava, and you have Gotana and Shai. And Shai is the forger that's been caught. She was caught because a painting apparently that she was trying to steal from a real artist, as they call it, real artist. They don't consider the forgers a real artist, although they can fake artists.
Yeah, that pisses me off when they say that. I don't like it.
I know.
I agree, Tree. Yeah, wholeheartedly agree.
But she had made an almost identical painting to like this really famous painting, and she got caught.
Okay, now that part really threw me off because then they explain it later and they make it sound like she actually got caught because she was trying to steal the scepter.
Moon scepter.
Right.
So I was really confused. So
yeah, but they explain it more like in day 30, the very last day we're here.
Right. Then we start kind of hearing all the background.
Yeah, the background of it. Yeah, we finally get into it. As the days go on, obviously, by the end you'll understand more. But obviously for what she's done, the punishment can be death. But they also have a problem right now. Their emperor had an accident. And he's kind of like brain dead.
And wifey's dead.
And there's no successor. And basically there'll be complete anarchy and complete collapse of government if people find out. So one thing,
collapse of that government.
Yeah, that government. So they look at her and like, well, she's good. So, and rather than kill her, maybe we can use her. So the prologue is basically just talking about figuring out how they can use her. And we learn something about. Very quickly we learn about how forging works. Forging works is they create these stamps and then they can magically put stamps on things. It can be a person or inanimate or anything, and then change that thing to whatever based on the stamp.
Right.
So which is
so
art.
like it, so like it imbues properties or characteristics into whatever the stamp is like pushed into.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept, yeah. So they want her to basically forge back the Emperor's soul. I mean, you find that really early on. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but it's said very earlier. It's very earlier what they tell you what she's trying to accomplish.
It's the name of the novella. I mean, we're not really spoiling anything.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. So that's what she's.
My little brain is spinning up so many plots already with what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got threads on threads on threads at different directions.
I feel like I might be seeing threads, but I can't really connect them yet. So like my big thing is because they said that they can pretend they can like use it to make people pretend like they're other people. So at this point, what's the guy Galadon? Is that who's
Gatona.
Okay,
it's gonna take me a while to get these names right.
Yeah. So my big theory is that she's just going to get him to impersonate the Emperor.
Yeah.
And she's going to somehow manipulate him to be on board with this.
Yeah.
So that's like my big thing that I'm thinking. And then also like they keep paying attention to like what she's doing to the table, what she did to the window, the stained glass window. So I'm thinking that those are little pieces to her escape plan.
Yeah.
Because you always have to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she knows she's gonna get executed.
Yeah. Without getting further into the story, one question I wanted to ask Tree as an artist, how much did you enjoy this aspect of magic system based around like what is your thoughts on that? Like based around like art? Because let's be real, like what you do to create the stamps is although they even say like I think Farava even asks her at one point, it's like, why would someone with so much talent be able to draw so well become a forger rather than a real artist? And he actually says like a real artist. Which is kind of
because like how do you define that, right? Like artists, like realism artists, like they look at real things and they try to copy them, right? Like they might, they can take like a vase and make another same vase, but like an artist is looking at it and trying to make a picture of it. Or there's all different types of art. I'm thinking painting because I'm a painter, so that's where my brain goes, even though I know there's like all different types of art. But I don't know. It's really interesting because that's kind of a thing. Like as a realism artist, like you want to understand the object that you're painting, right? So when I was learning how to, draw and paint people, we started with the bones. I had to learn all the bones. Like I was going to be a doctor. I had to learn all the bones, all the muscles, how they move, how they rotate, so that I can create a person from nothing, right? So I don't know, that kind of stuff was kind of cool, how deep she goes into stuff. And like I know a lot of other artists that spend their entire lives studying the history of other artists and things. So I don't know, it was pretty spot on, I think.
And I love the fact, I'm skipping ahead a lot, but like when she really gets into like how like in order to create the proper steps, they have to understand that like the soul, like every aspect of the person, like why, like and I'm jumping way ahead here, but like why is his favorite color green? Like, and you have to understand the core of that. And going back to your going down to the bones, like you have to understand to the bone, like, in order to create a proper forgery.
Well, because it can't be a huge departure from the base of what you're actually working with, right? Because otherwise it's going to reject it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that was really interesting.
It is. But String Flang said, art is life. Use a brush to make a human thing. Use AI and fakeness to craft a human thing. Yeah. And that's one of the things that AI has never been able to do quite as well as the artistic aspect. They're getting better, but it's still computers can't bring the humanity into it.
I love how much thought is put into this character. Like she's so witty already.
Paint is fake. Painting is fake, but the human soul is sometimes there. Is there sometimes?
That's kind of the whole thing about art is that you are trying to give whatever it is that you're painting a soul.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So let's go jump into day 2. Because that's where we start. So the prologue is just basically setting up this. So we found out she's in a prison. She has stone walls. She's escorted by to the arbiters to meet Zhu, a striker who's the one who's captured her. He tells her that one day that he will kill her. I mean, flat tells her like, one day I'll kill you because we don't like forgers here, and what you've done is horrible, and you deserve death. But the only thing is that the only thing that's keeping her alive right now is because part of forgery is technically is illegal. Technically, is soul forgery. She has enough artistic ability to do soul forgery, which apparently is really rare. It's illegal to do, but where you can actually manipulate someone's soul with art.
Right.
And Shai even tells him like, actually, your whole stone prison, I was almost escaping. I almost at the point where I could escape it. Like if I worked out all your different stones, and I love how you use different types of stone, to try to get me. But hey, I'm good enough. I can figure all this out, and I can create, an art to actually
44 different types of stone.
Yeah,
I think I remember that number.
Yeah, which is it's kind of cool. Like it's a fun concept. I love this magic system. Because it's so unique.
Yeah, this whole book is just, I'm so in it. Like, I didn't want to stop. It's so interesting.
Yeah, the concept is very groundbreaking, which I do appreciate.
And the fact that she has to somehow also, she mentioned something about having to change the history of an object. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Right. But you have to make it believable where it will accept it.
It will accept it,
right?
Yeah.
So it can't be a huge departure from its true history.
Yeah.
Right. And she even talks about that. Like, I think it's even this chapter, she talks about how things, like even things that are created, they eventually, the longer they've been in that state, they begin to have their identity of that state. So like when you make a table, originally it was just pieces of tree. So all the different pieces identify as a tree. But as they've been a table for long enough, the soul of the table begins to identify as a table. But it still remembers its tree.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just, I don't know. It's just really.
Or the window, like you were talking about earlier.
The stained glass window,
It was the window. Now it's a window, but at one point in time, it had the history of being a stained glass window. So it's got that history that it can go back to being a stained glass window. Yeah. It's got really, memory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and they talk about even everything has a soul, inanimate or organic, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Everything has a soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really cool concept.
Yep.
So at this point, Farava recounts all her crimes. Shai deduces that the arbiters want her to do something to discuss payment. In the back of her mind, she's like, it doesn't really matter. I know once I'm done with what I'm doing, you'll just kill me anyway. So I need to figure out a way to escape. But it's agreed that she'll be paid in essence marks, is what they call it. Which is a particular type of soul stamp.
Boo. Bug flew in my drink.
Oh no!
How dare you?
So I don't know if it really gets in. Does it get into what essence mark is in this? I can't remember.
Say that again. Essence mark?
Essence mark.
I don't remember that.
From what I got from it, it's like almost like stamps of herself, like little bits of herself.
It's stamps of person's memories, history, or brief periods of time. So
okay.
Yeah.
In these early chapters, I can guarantee you, I did not,
it's hard. It's the transition. It's the transition. So at this point, the arbiters show the Emperor Ashravron, who's been injured in an attack by assassins. They also killed his wife, and they're trying to heal his body by resealing him. But his mind is completely gone.
Right.
She
picked up on something was weird because she saw him and he was like, kind of like mindlessly walking around.
Yeah.
So she kind of knew something was up. So.
Yeah. He can't even talk. Like he's just
right.
There. Yeah. And the arbiters text Shai, forging a new soul for him, and she has 98 days to do it. Or because that's the time frame. So 98 days is the time that culture allows for mourning their wife.
Well, I thought it was 100 days, but 2 days had passed. Right?
2 days had passed, right? It's 100 days. 2 days had passed, so she has 98 days left.
Right.
So they can lie to the people that the reason why they haven't seen their emperor and the reason why he hasn't come out to talk is because he has 100 days to mourn.
Mm-hmm.
So she has 98 days to do it, and she's like, that's a ton of. To do that in 98 days is just impossible because like to learn enough to fix this is
the juxtaposition of her inner monologue though, or her inner thoughts against what she says is great. She's like, well, that's impossible, and then she actually says, yep, I can do it.
Yeah.
You're like, totally got this.
I love that because it's like you hear all the insecurity she has about her skills, but then she's like so bold with it when she's like, I got that.
Yeah.
I got it.
I may have related to that as well.
Hey, you gotta do that sometimes. You gotta do it sometimes.
Totally could do that.
You gotta fake it until you make it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
I was already like waiting for in my brain. I was like, how is she gonna get an extension on this project? Like I'm already brainstorming how she's gonna get 100 days. Like,
we've all been there too. You're like, yeah, sure. I got this. You get close to the end, you're like, so I'm gonna need another week.
Yeah, I'm gonna need another 2 3 weeks maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty much how we end day 2. Any other thoughts before we move to day 3?
Okay. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't know.
Do tell.
I don't know. Like, they're just all over the place. I can't remember what days are what.
Yeah, it's tough to this book's like that. So day 3, Katana presents Shai with a number of blank soul stamps made from soulstone. She also, at this point, he notices a vase in the hall in her room and asks her about it. And this is where she gets into the whole thing about, she says she wants to determine the skill of a certain faction of forgers and things like that. And Katana insists that it's not forgers instead, but rememberers. So we get another term. I guess that wasn't made by forgers, made by rememberers.
Yeah, they're the art history majors.
Right, exactly.
Art history majors, nice.
Right, yeah.
That's
rather than the art restoration people, they're the people that just talk about it. Yeah. And he also points out a flaw in her escape plan that she had told the arbiters. Of course, and then you get your inner monologue, like, I already thought about
that. Yeah, he says it was gonna burn to like 1400 degrees or something like that if she had set that one part of the stone on fire or whatever. And I was like, holy cow! But anthracite, I think, is the one they refer to. And I found out, I was like, okay. And then he was like, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to say you would have built a bubble, blah, 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 to make sure you could still breathe, even though the fire was going to suck all the oxygen out of the room, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little meeting of the minds there. Appreciated that.
Yeah. And also in this chapter is when, they discuss the circumstances of her imprisonment and revealed that the arbiters had actually employed blood sealers that will ensure that Shai cannot escape. We learned a little bit about that.
So creepy.
Yeah, that reminds me of
skeletons are gonna come after her.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, it was like this death by 1,000 cuts thing. The idea of getting cut every day.
Yeah. So that's the end of day 3. The days get longer as the days go on.
It'd be a lot more convenient if they just, used the needle, took out what they needed, and then he can just boop, put the blood on whatever he needs.
Oh yeah, just tap the IV one time, right? And then just when you need it, just turn your little mini spigot on.
Right? He doesn't even have to show up. He can just do it from his office. But we need him to not show up because that's going to be important, I think.
Right. Yeah, because she's tracking that time.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So we get to day 5, and Shai thinks of creating a realistic forgery. Thinks about how creating a realistic forgery in this short time is impossible. but also decides that, hey, she can do it, but at the same time, she needs to plot her escape because they're just going to kill her afterwards anyway.
Right.
She's and we talked about that already, but that's kind of day 5 is where she comes to that epiphany. Is like, I got to do 2 things at the same time. I do got to figure out a realistic enough forgery, but at the same time, I got to be looking for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for day 5. Day 5 is short. It's a little,
a couple of these chapters are like really short.
Yeah. Which is why I think the window and the table are coming in play because
that's in day 12.
Yeah, because they're focused on
yeah. Day 12 is when Shy forges her table. Katona asks her what design's based off of, and that's when she talks about historical artifacts and remembering and how they remember what they are. And says that it's just a better version of itself. So you still have to start with the base of what it actually is, and you can make a better version of it.
Right.
But it still has to be what it is. Because if it doesn't know its base, it won't take. Right. And she even gives Katona like a little lesson on forgery and the theories about it and stuff like that. And also, this is when she talks about like, I need to learn everything about the Emperor and his deepest and darkest secrets and everything. Like, so I need to interview everyone and learn every little aspect of them because otherwise they won't take properly.
Right. Which is why she's studying that diary.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting concept again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's day 12. Any thoughts?
No, because this is a short one. I'm pretty sure this was a pretty short chapter. It was just
the last 2 are day 17, day 30 are the longer chapters.
Right.
That's where the meat and potatoes is in this whole section. So day 17, Shai continues to examine the journal. Farava comes to speak to her. She reminds the arbiter that she needs someone to test the stamps on. And this is when Farava attempts to bribe Shai with a position controlling the city's smuggling operations.
But she really... The main purpose is her trying to inject the idea of putting in a back door.
Right. Yes.
And she knows at that point in time, she's like, okay, this is just spelling doom for me all around.
Yeah. I love that every time Farava comes in to talk to her, she's just like, yeah, okay. And then she's like, yeah, she's doing this.
Right.
Like, she's like...
I love how she has like no like filter either. She's just like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Like, I mean, she just like flat out just doesn't care. Like, she's like, whatever. Like,
you mean Farava?
Shy just flat out says things that she shouldn't say. Like, especially day 30. I
mean, I guess to a point.
I think she says the right things.
Yeah,
I think she says everything.
I think she's playing a pretty good, cool game.
Yeah.
I think she's doing well, especially considering how insecure she is when you consider her like inner thoughts.
Right.
I think she's playing it pretty tactfully. So especially with Farava. I mean because Farava that's just dangerous all around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, first to suggest a back door, then to say she's actually running this whole illegal, black market, whatever you want to call it, dark web, thing. And you said, "Oh, I'll let you take over." And it's like no one who's in that position willingly gives up power over anything. They just dangle it in front of you till they get what they want, and then they're like, "Okay, well, I'm going to cut them threads," and you're done. So smart on her to realize, hey, I got to find another out because this is not going to go well for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about Farava.
Oh, I feel terrible. Farava's just trouble all around.
Yeah, but she's bad at it.
But Farava,
she thinks she's good at it, but she's bad at it.
Here's Alondo theory time. Okay. Farava's the assassin, right? I mean, come on. She's got to be the assassin. She's got to be the one who came in, had Queenie killed, had King, basically in a shadow state of himself. I feel like if she's not the one, she is like intricately involved in whatever organization made that hit happen. That's my theory. So,
okay.
Sure.
I think she's bad news all around. Bad news all around.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't think she's smart enough to do that.
That's the reason I say, and I'm glad you said that, because I don't feel like she's definitely not smart enough, but I think that I think she's tied up in whatever organization that is the puppet master pulling strings. I don't know who that is. I feel like she's somewhere in that, though, and I think she's higher up only because of her crazy connections.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I definitely feel she only has her position because of some sort of connections that she has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you read the Nightmare Painter?
No.
Tree. I know you haven't.
Nightmare Painter?
The Sanderson book, Seer Projects. You mean their Nightmare Painter?
What's it called?
And then we're gonna read it. It's part of
yeah. So I know that's the reason I know, because I asked you for the reading list and I put everything on my list to make sure I have.
Yeah, you mean the Nightmare Painter? Yeah, I just didn't know if you read that yet. Okay, cool. You haven't read it. Awesome. We have more art to do later.
Yay!
Way years from now, we'll do more art.
Oh yeah, this is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a while.
We'll be in this for a minute.
It'll be a minute. We gotta get through Stormlight first.
And books are still coming out. So.
Yeah, which in less than a month.
It's like in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, a couple of weeks. I'll be reading Stormlight 5, and then I had to figure out where that's gonna fit in our. Yeah, and how much intersects with other Cosmere, and how much we have to read before going into it. It's fun. It's fun whenever Sanderson decides to write another book, because it's I know he's writing Stormlight 5, but 6 is not supposed to come out for another 10 years. It's been another decade before he writes Stormlight 6.
Okay.
He just already said that.
Well, I did say that I wanted to commit to something, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hey, but at least he's got an actual timeline. Looking at you, George R.R. Martin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has his entire life planned out already. It's insane. It's very ambitious. I
mean, after reading some of his books, I'm honestly not surprised.
Yeah.
I feel like if anybody can commit to it and make it happen, this guy can. Yeah. Easily. Of all artists, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote him in for president because it's.
You wrote him in.
No, I didn't, but I wrote it Hoyd. I
have so many things I want to say, but I'm not gonna.
Hoyd for president.
I don't have an opinion anyway because I'm not American.
There's actually Hoyd for president shirts I think out there. It's great, but
oh man.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Sanderson's mind is insane. And he has good sense of humor. I told you guys about how he signs other people's books, right? Did I tell you that?
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yeah. It goes into the. Actually, I'm a fan of all of that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
The fact he makes something a collectible
by signing someone else's book.
Signing someone else's book. This guy. All right.
Yeah. Anyway. Shai had intended to use the full 100 days to plan her escape, but now she realizes
she can accelerate that plan.
That she has to accelerate that plan because that she could be killed at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I know this, so she's trying to find a way to escape fast.
Right, because now she's in a Breaking Bad situation. Where it's like when they were cooking the meth, and then they brought in oh my gosh, I forgot his name now, the other chemist, and he was kind of observing stuff, and they were like, well, we got to kill him so that we can maintain our own livelihood and our own mortality. Yeah.
By the way, probably one of the greatest TV shows ever. Breaking Bad.
I went back and rewatched that thing like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
I was like, this thing still holds up. It's insane how good that show is.
Did you ever watch Breaking Bad 3?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
I like both. I like both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
I like them both. I didn't think I was gonna like them that much, but yeah.
I watched the first few episodes of Better Call Saul when it was like just coming out like every week.
Uh-huh.
And then life lifed, I guess, and I just haven't gone back to it. But I liked what I watched.
It's great. It's got some of the same kind of story beats, but sometimes it's like you forget some of the callbacks because if you haven't watched Breaking Bad forever, you don't realize it's like there's like all these Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend if you get an opportunity, just watch them both back to back. Or watch Better Call Saul and then watch Breaking Bad immediately afterwards. It's actually really rewarding too.
Yeah, the show. I mean, it's an AMC show. AMC makes some good stuff. Walking Dead was good.
Well, for a little bit.
I was so obsessed with Walking Dead. It was my entire personality for like 5 years.
Yeah.
See, I read the comic books, and so I mean, of course, I'm a comic book guy. So I was reading the comic books, and it was really beat for beat for like a second, and then when they split off, I got obsessed because I was like, "This is not just a remake of the book, so I actually can enjoy the show like everybody else." I was so hyped about it.
Yes.
And then there was just a couple seasons I was like, okay, I can't. It was like, you're just dragging stuff out unnecessarily now. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, I never finished like the last season. There might even be another one out that I didn't watch. Well, I read all the books.
I've watched all of it. I did finally get through all of Walking Dead. And I've got through most of Fear of the Walking Dead, the spinoffs. Okay.
But I think the new one with Daryl Dixon.
I have not watched any of that yet. Right now, actually, my wife and I are. It's a little soapy, but my wife likes it, so we're watching together. As Discovery Witches.
I watched that with when I was visiting Amise.
Yeah.
It's called what? Discovery
of Witches.
A Discovery of Witches.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's vampires, demons, and witches.
I like it.
Nice.
It's fun. It's a little soapy, but it's fun.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm trying to watch Agatha All Along. That just finished up on Disney Plus. I'm trying to get through that.
Yeah.
I just started Mad Men again.
Ooh, that's a great rewatch show.
That's a great show.
Oh man, that thing still holds up to this day.
Mad Men.
Don Draper.
Yeah, Don Draper. Mad Men. So yeah, she has to celebrate time. Then we get to finally day 30.
Day 30.
Already?
Mm-hmm. Already. And then we're going to go back and talk about all of it. So I'm just going to race through all the highlights, and then we're going to talk about everything because I figured that's the only way to do this book. So Katana points out the Sting-less window, and then also gives Shy her test subject. So she tests a bunch of stamps. Some take, some don't. And starts testing them, like, what do you remember now, that kind of stuff. And, they're kind of quizzing her, like, why don't you test on this? I was like, well, I didn't know him. So, like, I can't do it on myself. Like, I need to find someone that actually knew him so I can compare and contrast. Mm-hmm. It will take better, too, because you knew him. Like, it talks about that, too. Like, I didn't know him. So, like, it won't take as well with me, or someone else. Like, you need someone that actually knew him. The stamps she made for why he became emperor fails, so she hasn't really figured out that part yet.
Yeah, she was guessing on that one, and she guessed poorly. I like, by the way, the fact that the stamps operate like a key. You put you put it on the skin, right, and then you turn it.
Right.
So it's like unlocking something or locking something in. I feel like there's a lot of symbolism there, and I'm not sure if that's going to come back, but I feel like there's something there about that. And then when the second one doesn't take, she like puts it on, turns it, and it's just like nothing. And it's like the first one it had like red smoke.
It turns red and then fades away.
Yeah. But that second one, it was like doom doom doom.
The sad trumpet. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, there you go.
Sad
trumpet. I keep trying to imagine what these stamps look like because they sound like they're like, in my mind it's like a stamp, so it's like small.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Maybe this big max.
I think about the stamps that they used to use. When you use the wax, and you actually can get your own stamps made.
Like the seal.
That's what I'm thinking is like a stamp like that.
That's kind of what's in my brain too, but like
they're super intricate. Hold on, let me show you.
But I'm thinking like intricate. I'm thinking it looks like what it actually prints is probably like a notary stamp, where it's like all the intricate lines. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yep, yes. That's
like a notary has, like, it's really intricate, like all the stuff in it. It's like a lot of text, of course.
Yeah.
So that's how the stamps look. Like they're very.
But I imagine it like kind of like going into the surface of whatever it is, like when you press that stamp into wax, the seal into wax.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's got to turn to it. It's like you put it in and then
you got it pressed.
Yeah.
Actually, oh no, it's packed up because we packed up our whole house. Now we have to unpack our house. I was gonna go back here and like, oh yeah, actually, I do have a wax sealing kit.
I always wanted to get one, but I have no reason.
You can mail me letters.
So I used to do it, and then I stopped doing it because I felt like I was really like ostentatious to do it. But it was like because I have like a like my own seal that I got custom made, so I have like a little stamp on it. And I used to send thank you letters and do a wax seal on the thank you letters. Like, but I was like, this is a little bit like pretentious, so I stopped doing it. But I was like, but it was still cool though. I'd like to drip the wax and then press your seal in. And I actually talked about I actually like one thing. So I had like little seal made, but then also like I found like my last name like actually has a family signet. So I thought about getting actually a signet ring that I could use to press in. But then I thought also that would be a little pretentious. But I was like, but it's still cool. Like, I don't know. It's something cool about getting a wax sealed envelope in the mail.
It's really
I'm
cool.
practicing learning calligraphy, hiragana, and katakana right now.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it's okay writing it digitally, but I've been thinking about writing it stuff like out, like, you know, like on paper. So now I'm going to send Trio a whole bunch of like wax sealed letters.
I don't have my. I have a fountain. I do,
and all the calligraphy and all the things, just so I have an excuse to just write some stuff up.
Yeah, I do actually have a nice like calligraphy fountain pen, like a nice fountain pen that I have, but it's not in this room. But yeah, it's fun.
I used to have a really nice fountain pen. I have no idea where that thing is now. But I just use the, you know, in Japanese they just use like Sarasa pens.
Okay.
So that I just like have a whole bunch of these pens, which write really thick, and then I have a whole bunch of the actual Japanese pen refills and stuff.
Okay.
Because it uses so much ink. I mean, it's like you write like a little bit, and it's like all of a sudden the pen's empty.
Yeah, the thing about fountain pens is the same type of thing. Is it's like not only it's like, but
you're
then
loading
like
things constantly.
You have to constantly twist them too, like because sometimes the ink doesn't flow quite right.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever tried
the nib?
The glass pens?
So I just got into that because I've been watching like some stationery stuff. It's a Japanese stationery company. What is it called? Rocket Pens or something. I can't remember what it's called. And they had those, and I'm so curious about those, but I don't know what the advantages and disadvantages are.
I feel like they still take the same amount of ink, but because they have like the twist, they have like multiple wells, like so you don't have to turn it as often as Alan was saying. That's annoying. It's just like it writes a lot smoother.
Cool.
Yeah.
So string flame, I've eaten seal. I've eaten seal, except it's illegal for Native Alaskans. Steak, salty sea bass.
What a deviation! I love it, string flame.
Cow with fish taste.
Alligator. Alligator's like chicken with a fish taste.
Seals. Cows of the sea.
You've ate alligator, right? It's kind of like a fishy chicken taste.
Yeah, alligator is very much like a chicken, but it's just a little different,
slight hint,
a little
of
off,
fishy taste to it. Yeah.
I haven't eaten enough weird things.
Yeah, I've eaten some weird things, but nothing like for example, I was in Thailand and everybody's asking me like, "Oh, are you going to eat tarantula?" I was like, "Why?"
Yeah.
I mean,
no. Usually, if I go to a restaurant and there's an animal on the menu that I'd never ate before, I usually order it.
I feel like a tarantula would be like, you know, when you have a chicken wing and you have like those really little crunchy pieces like on the edges or on the ends. I feel like that would be tarantula texture.
Yeah.
Maybe not tarantula flavor.
No one has ever come back and told me they've had tarantula and been like, "Man, it was great."
Yeah.
Now, all the places we went to in South America, everybody was
kangaroo is great.
It was all about have guinea pig. That's all they talked about. Guinea pig, guinea pig. Right. I was getting ready to order one, and the equivalent is basically like $30 US. I'm like, I'm not paying $30 US for freaking like, you know, table rat. So I was like, forget that. And I was like,
how much they cost for a potato rat?
I mean, and then it was like, I mean, you got to think about it. It's got like little tiny bones in it and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, this is it. I think it might be like a delicacy. Well, it's actually pretty common to eat there. But I was like, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, and I don't do, fear factor foods. Yeah. If I'm going to eat something, it's because it's actually heard it's good. Now, I had crickets in Thailand, but it was like little popcorn kind of things. It was like, So, but I mean, the crickets was okay because it was like butter flavored crickets and stuff like that. It was actually decent.
I've had earthworms too.
Were they crunchy or chewy?
They were crunchy.
Yeah, I've had the barbecue earthworms where they fry them up.
I feel like I've had something similar.
And they have barbecue.
It was a barbecue grub. It was a grub, so it basically is like a.
They're crunchy. They fry them up so it's all crunchy.
I'm a person that actively like picks worms up off of the sidewalk and moves them out of the way when it's rainy. So I don't think I can eat them.
You don't think you can eat one?
No, or like off the road. I'm like, come on, little buddy, and then I'll put them on the grass.
Yeah. You ever had camel?
Yeah. So actually, they serve camel at the Steak and Tonic.
At Steak and Tonic, yeah, camel steaks.
Yeah, they serve it as an empanada. They did that recently.
And bison meatloaf at Circa, they said bison meatloaf. Bison's good.
Yeah, bison's good.
I've had bison before.
Deer is overrated, in my opinion.
Deer is over. Oh no, I forget the sweet meat.
It is sweet. The only way I've ever had deer and enjoyed it is when I made it into a meatloaf.
Yeah.
Then it was good.
I like deer, like pepperoni.
Ostrich.
Like dry.
Reindeer tastes completely different than regular deer. We had reindeer when we were in Scandinavia last year, and it was really, really good. I was surprised.
Yeah.
And then bear was good.
You guys have eaten so many weird animals.
I've had snakes.
It's about where you travel to, though. It's like,
escargot, snails.
See, the thing is, I actually don't eat a lot of meat like regularly.
Oh, I try not to regularly either because it's just. I mean,
I don't even try not to. I just don't. It's not something that I usually.
You don't gravitate to it, right?
Yeah, I don't gravitate to it. I'm
the same way. I don't have burgers often.
I mean, I'll have chicken. I eat lots of fish.
Yeah, I'll do seafood. I do shrimp, but
fish a lot.
I don't really just like go out and just like I can't wait to have a burger.
I did poke bowls.
Yeah, poke bowls. Yeah,
poke bowls. I did that for lunch today. So I had tuna and salmon. That's delicious.
My breakfast and lunch today was all fruit all day long.
Iris
is on board with me with the deer jerky.
Deer jerky, yeah. So I mean, the key to good deer jerky is I had a friend of mine hunts a lot, and he does it. Like I've had deer jerky that's like okay. He makes the best one. He says the reason why his is good is he takes pork belly and mixes it in, so you get that little bit more of that fatness to it because deer's so lean.
That's the problem. Yeah, it has like nothing in it.
It's so lean, but like if you mix in the meat, like mix in some pork belly with it.
That's why I don't like it because there's no fat in it.
But if you do deer jerky with a little pork belly mixed in, it's good.
So yeah. But I can imagine being okay in deer jerky because I mean jerky you don't really need the fat.
Yeah.
That's really
but you mix in some pork belly with make some jerky with pork belly and deer meat.
You mix pork belly with just about anything, and it's gonna probably taste a lot better. I mean, come on, you could
do some bacon in there.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Salmon jerky.
If you wrap a tarantula in bacon, I'll eat it.
There you go. See,
wrap anything in bacon, I'll eat it.
Have you had a pork belly slathered tarantula? I'm about to.
So anyway, Emperor Soul.
Yeah, Emperor Soul. Back to talking about.
That's right. Back to the book.
Back to stamping.
You're making me hungry, which is surprising because all of these things sound absolutely disgusting. Well, not all of them, but
not all of it. Some of
a lot of them.
Yeah. So eventually, after the whole stamping thing fails, and she kind of figures some stuff out, I guess Katoda and her have a heart-to-heart about art. And why is she not a real artist? Back to that whole thing.
Oh man, that was a very inflammatory.
Yeah, and she insists that she is. So she's like, I am a real artist. I do great work. Like, in fact, this painting that I forged, it's perfect. And Tana's like, it's too far off. It's like, yeah, because it's a fake one. Like, but the one I have have up there, it's like, so the one still up there is real. It's like, no, that's fake too.
Nope.
It was like, wait, so the one we found that's obviously a fake, but like subtly a fake, is a fake one. You made 2 fakes? He's like, yeah, I made 2 fakes. And he's like, so you still have the original? He goes, not really. And he's like, wait, but I'm confused. Like, he's like, yeah, I was trying to like confuse you guys because I really want to steal a scepter. So that was the whole thing. But I figured if I, do the whole thing with the fake paintings, you would just try me for the painting, which is not as big of a deal as if I get caught with a scepter, which is
because one is a punishment of being in prison for 10 years. The other one is
death. Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's good. And then like finally at the very end is like, so did you hide the real one then? She goes,
she's like, I burned that bitch.
She's like, kind of. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I threw it in the fire. It's gone. Like
she burned that thing. I was like, oh,
he's like,
man.
what? Like he's like, you even said yourself, you cannot tell the one that's on the wall is still not the real one. Like I did such a good job. Why does it matter? Like it's
she makes her point beautifully.
I hate that. I hate that she burned it though.
I don't like that part, but she does make her point, which like, is
people still gonna enjoy it.
She does make her point, but it's
if it's a perfect fake,
slap in the face to the original
if it's
artist,
a perfect fake, then what's the difference?
It's so disrespectful. You can never copy someone's exact art. There is pieces of dust from where they live in it, pieces of their hair, like.
How did they create the pigments themselves, right?
Because every artist and every piece of work.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that this person made that and is now blind and can't make any more art, and it doesn't matter because he would never remake that exact piece again anyway, most likely. It's a one-of-a-kind thing that actually can never actually be recreated. Even if it looks exactly the same.
Threw it in fire.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot. Like I was on board with Katana. I was like, yeah, like she's all right. She's kind of cool. I don't like that he doesn't think she's a real artist because that's bullshit. But when she said she actually burned it, she better have a damn good reason, or else she's lost some pegs of respect for me.
Man, she's on the tree hate train.
I don't hate her, but I am just like. Yeah. Strongly disappointed.
Well, she couldn't sneak the real one out. They said they checked too much, so she just burned it.
That whole thing did seem odd, though, that she would go burn it. Though I was like, oh,
yeah,
man.
like there's something going on here.
Yeah, I
feel
like there's I feel like there's more to that story that we're not being told yet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And also, the moon scepter isn't the real scepter.
Yeah.
She's
so we got replicas on replicas on replicas right now.
Yeah. It's like Inception going on right now. It's the dream of the dream of the dream of the dream.
Mm-hmm,
like
it's
it's Inception all over again.
Yeah. And like she's not working alone. She can't be working alone.
Well, didn't she say something about that she got caught because the person who was going to, how did that go? Something about the person who was going to notify something. I can't remember. Something about the timing. And
I know she was bringing up other.
They threw the timing off whoever her partner in crime was. I don't remember if she said the name or not, but it was, she made allusions to it. I didn't commit it to memory, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but she's definitely working with somebody. She's because it's also the person who was supposed to burn the painting,
right?
Because she didn't actually burn the painting. She gave it to somebody else to burn in the whatever, the furnace or whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely something about the painting. And what I'm missing is
it's what she did to them.
Oh
no. What I'm missing here is her motive. Like, what is her motive?
Yeah.
Why is she doing all this?
Sometimes people just want to see the world burn. All right.
Oh,
sometimes
man, this guy with the reference.
Sometimes people just want to see the world burn.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
I don't think that's her motive. But there's something.
Well, you got to think about it. We really don't know as much about this lady as we might.
No, we don't know anything.
I mean, really. Because, I mean, why is she in this place, in this position? Why does she... I mean, how does she have this capability, right? I mean, I don't understand how she got it. This ability to, the forging capability.
Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
JTO soda.
Nice. Fair enough. I'll send you a soda and some crickets.
Yeah, I get that vibe that these people that have this ability are born with it, and then they go to school to train it.
Yeah.
And there's, obviously there's more than just her.
Well, but if it's such a reviled art, I can't imagine
only the soul, like, so it's reviled, but like only like the certain aspects of it are illegal, I guess. So yeah, it's all.
Well, it's true because that's right, because they have people observing her who possibly have the same skills as her, maybe not to her level. Right. So it obviously is not so reviled that it's like you can't, have any affiliation with it whatsoever. But just they don't like the way that she executes her her craft, right?
Right. They just don't like her.
Yeah, it's just her.
Mm-hmm. It's just her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how we end this section that we're doing tonight. Is with the burning of a painting and a lot of questions unanswered about motive and a lot of other stuff. But and she still's, I guess, somewhat closer to actually figuring out the Emperor's soul, but not. Yeah. I mean, not really far into it yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's as long as you got it figured out in 1 minute intervals, because that's how long it lasts right now. And it's only one aspect. I mean, for it to be day 30, and that's as far as she's gotten, it's not looking good.
No. Oh, she still has. Yeah, I mean, day 30. So she's 70 days.
She's a third, a little under a third of the way there, and it's like.
Yeah.
It's killing me though. I'm finishing the rest of it tonight. I'm telling you that.
Oh yeah, you just can't wait, huh?
No, I just there's too many thoughts happening. Like,
yeah, I got you.
Like, who is she? She hasn't shared anything about her life.
Yeah,
right? She hasn't shared anything about her motive. Like, we know nothing.
Yeah, don't know about family, friends.
Like, is she real? Is she forged? Is she a skeleton pawn? Like, there's so many things that could be happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, she has right now, we don't know why she's in there. We don't know why she was stealing the moon scepter. Like, this whole painting, like, oh, I needed a backup plan. Like, okay, why was that your backup plan?
Right. That's a really,
why'd you have to burn the thing? Yeah, and there's a reason.
She said she was doing it to test the security, but I'm like, really?
She's throwing them off. She's making them look at other things. So it's like the painting was planted there. So like there's obviously something with the painting that it needs to be in there. Right? I think.
Yeah.
There's a big plan, but I just don't know what it is.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not reading it until day of on Monday. I will read it then.
I can't wait. I'll listen to it again on Monday.
You're going to do it twice. There you go. Yeah, I try to do it right before we record, so that way it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
That way I can remember all the little details.
You and Chris.
Yeah.
From the
yeah, I definitely I gamble on that.
Maybe she has ADHD and her best work is a last minute rush. I feel that in my bones.
I mean, I feel like that's her mindset now, but before it was very much premeditated.
All my best work is last minute rush. It's great.
You'd be surprised how much you get done, though. I mean, when you got that like writing a paper at the last minute.
That's why I'm going to tell a little bit myself. I've never liked anything that's like academic wise that's graded subjectively. Like maybe that's why I'm a math guy, is because I've never I go back to my freshman year in college and like writing a paper for like it was a creative writing class.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I worked really, really hard and like did a bunch of research and wrote this like I thought was beautiful, like, and I got a like C- on it. And then like the next time it was due, I was like, I don't care anymore. I went out and got drunk the night before, like went out partied and like realized I had to write the paper the next day and stayed up to like wrote it in like 1 hour and then drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the morning, turned the next day and got like an A- on that. I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when I actually try, like you're like, no, this is horrible work. And then like I'm drunk and just randomly writing words on paper. Like, this is beautiful art. I'm like, Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Anytime there's like subjective interpretation, it's like whatever, dude.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just what your opinion is, man.
And it might be just because
it's your opinion, man.
It's because you happen to write something that aligns with some like stupid experience the teacher had back in the day, and they're like, I remember one time I heard a cat fart. You're like, great, appreciate
thanks for the grade, man.
Better, my guy.
You guys. Like now I'm just gonna write now you taught me a life lesson that I just should write every paper drunk and procrastinate. Like that's the lesson I've learned now, and that's a horrible lesson to learn in life. So like I don't know, it's been really tough for me to overcome that even in my adult life. Like I'm like I like objective things.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. I can definitely see where you're coming from on that. That makes all kinds of sense.
It's hard to make something objectively beautiful. It can be it's true. String flame. That string flame says but yeah, to that point, I've experienced that firsthand where like I didn't give a crap and got a really good grade and like really tried hard and got a horrible grade. I'm like, yeah, screw you guys. Just my personal.
I get that.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
It's really annoying. I mean, so I learned that lesson even younger. Like I made that college example, but like even like I think back to like 7th grade art class. Like same type of thing. They did like we had to do like a realism drawing. So like I think it was just like a basket of fruit. They put it on the table and everybody had to draw it. And like I wasn't that great I'm never a great artist, but I tried really, really hard and didn't get a good grade because I wasn't that good at it. And then we did like a sculptor part in 7th grade art. And like literally I just found random blocks, glued them together and like did like a Jackson Pollock type thing where he just splattered paint on it and got like an A. I'm like not even trying. like this is wonderful. Like I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why art school is.
This is me not caring. This is me caring. This is a D. This is an A. I don't understand.
Art school was a trip because of stuff like that. Because how do you judge? And everybody's so different.
Right. Yeah.
So
try everybody sees the world differently though too.
Thanks
and interpret the world around.
String flames, I love them. Try harder.
Harder next time.
You win.
You win.
You win. Best comment. There it is.
Straight best comment of the night. Like,
there it is.
Try harder, puss.
And the winner is. Oh man. Automatic win.
Automatic.
Yeah, I have the opinion that like.
And you get that little sound clip like fatality.
Fatality. That's right.
Fatality.
Finish him.
Everyone can technically be an artist.
True.
And it's not fair to judge them subjectively like that because like that's the thing too. It's like realism. You can't just do that. Like you can't just do that as a project if you've never done it before. Like that's the thing that takes years and years and years of practice.
Right.
So that's stupid.
I wasn't very good at drawing the apple and I just wasn't.
It's like I feel like if you try, like
I was in 7th grade too. I was 13 years old or 12 years old. Like what?
Right. What are you expecting?
Like you're happy I didn't get a stick figure apple. Like that's just be happy I didn't like just draw a circle with like a little leaf on it. Like I'm done.
I found a painting that I did. I discovered that it was like 11 years ago, which does not seem that much, but it was awful. I was laughing. I was like, what the hell? When did I do this? When I was like 8? Nope, 11 years ago. I was in my 20s and I did this and I tried really hard and it looks like crap. And if I held it up to like the paintings that I do now, like you'd never be able to tell. But that's like a decade of practice.
Yeah, as someone that's in their 40s, and I'm sure a lot of can echo this, like when someone says 30 years ago and they tell me it's not the 70s, it just blows my mind. like, what do you mean? 30 years ago it's not the 70s?
No, she said she was in her 30s though.
I know, but I'm saying time wise, like it's just
30 years ago, you're right. That's not the 70s.
It's not.
Yeah,
but it feels that way.
Yeah, that's age. It sucks.
Yeah.
Time. Why does
I hope my art teacher listens to our podcast so they can know how much they suck.
Me too, because I want to tell him to try harder, puss.
Yeah, try harder, puss.
Do better.
I had this one horrible art teacher in college that like she was my creativity teacher. We had an actual creativity class that just was like, they just, I don't know, they just taught you different ways to tap into your creative brain. But this one specifically just wanted trauma, like all the time.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, write about or paint something about your home. So I painted a really nice thing about like, oh, this is my house. This is, you know, my dog and cats and family. This is where we have our get-togethers. And she's just like, you're not going deep enough.
It's like my cousin is an artist. Like she just for a living. She's an artist. Like she's an artiste. And like, I mean, I like her art, but like it's literally like I sometimes just don't get it because I don't have that brain. But Tree, I'm sure you had that brain. But like, here I'll show you some of my my cousin's art. Hold on, present. Let's go share screen. So like, here's some of her art.
Ooh.
And like, this is her
burritos
taco pattern. Like, it's all like, this kind of like stuff. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's art's in the eye of the. But she sells her stuff, like it gets commissioned by like, she got commissioned by LA to do like murals and stuff like that. And like a bunch of like now she lives in Denver, I think in Colorado. No, she's in Boulder City. I don't know where she is now. She travels around and just goes from city to city painting. But
so art is the community that nobody wants to admit it's about who you know.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit that.
No.
I mean, but as many comic artists as I know who like do their own art, blah blah blah. And it's about who you know.
It is.
Right. There's a look
that you run in. Right.
Well, I mean, I mean, that's definitely a big thing. But like, you also kind of have to know what you're doing.
Well, yeah, you have to have some base amount of talent, right?
I remember the first time I ever tried to buy like fine art, and like I realized that it was stupid priced. Like, because I was used to like buying like prints and stuff like that. And like, oh yeah, here's a Monet print, and I could buy it for $20 at Walmart. And then I go to like a real fine art gallery, and like there's a guy I met through networking who ran like a really fine art gallery and had like famous artists come in. And I was going through, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to buy any of these pieces?" And I saw one. I was like, "Oh, this is cool. I'll buy it for my brother." And it was like a little small picture. And I was like, "How much this one runs?" Like, I could probably do $30,000 for this one. I was like, "Oh, no." Like, I love you, brother.
So car money? No thanks.
Yeah, I was like, I love you, brother, but no, I'm not paying.
I need to know some of these people.
I mean, it's like that one guy. Who's the guy that duct taped a banana on the wall, and then it was like, what was like $100,000?
There was literally an art exhibit in New York. This is years ago. It was a famous art where someone took a shit in a jar.
Yeah. Yep.
And it went for like $100,000.
Yep.
So what you're saying is I need to buy some jars.
And then there was this one.
Oh, you can sell your farts online. There's a whole community for that.
Shoot.
Yeah.
If you're female, you can sell anything and everything.
Wiki feet.
Yep. Gracious. Yeah.
Sell pictures of your feet.
That alone, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
There are people that make a full living off of selling pictures of their feet. It's insane. But yeah. So.
Hey, look, and I am not knocking them. If there's some idiot willing to pay for it, you do you. I'm not shaming kinks out there, but I am mad that I can't get that kind of money doing something so simple.
I actually found that my foot shape is actually one of the more rarer types because I went and looked it up just as a joke. So like I was joking around with my wife, like, "Oh, you start taking pictures of my feet and so on." It's a rarer foot type. Apparently, it's sought after.
Wow.
Like how your toes like curve or straight. Like there's different types. So I don't know.
Okay.
There's a whole thing about it. I was like, okay, interesting.
I'm not gonna ever look up anything about my feet. I don't want that in my search history.
Yeah, I did it because we did like an episode with Nerdy Nightly on Will Reads, and we got into a whole entire like tangent about WikiFeet. So I started Googling it. I was like, holy crap, there's a whole thing about this.
Oh, yeah, that's like a whole.
It's a whole rabbit hole. That's insane.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the only thing you'll see me on is Wiki moles when I, go and do something about my mole on my face. I'm gonna look it up and just, see how desirable it is.
Yeah.
Just making shit up.
It's fun times.
Right,
So that's how we end with Katana leaving in anger because he's like, "Fuck you" for burning the painting, which I guess rightfully so.
Yeah. He's got every right to be upset, and I agree with Tree being upset. But I feel like we don't know this whole story. Something's off.
Exactly.
Something's off.
Something's going on.
I'm waiting to hear the story.
Yeah,
it smells a little fishy.
There's something going on.
Yeah.
There's lots of things going on. There's lots of little threads.
Yeah. So once you get over the initial hump of such a drastic shift in everything we've read so far by Sanderson, how are you guys liking it so far?
I love it.
New World. It's just different for me right now. So I don't really, I don't think of it as in comparison. Right now I'm just like I'm gotta get into the vibe.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, a lot of the side stories and short stories you have to read to like understand obviously this is somewhat spoiler, but not really. Like all these things start to intersect eventually.
Of course they are.
So you have to read it all. Because otherwise you're like, where the hell is this coming from? Like, it's like, oh, it's coming from this
it's like the last one, we read the last short story, and after we finished it, then I went back and read all the notes about it. And then, I could see like all this overlap and stuff like that. I did the same thing for the, the first trilogy.
Right.
And I was able to go back and look at like all this stuff about it. So I feel like the same thing here. Once you finish it, I'll go back, I'll read all the notes. Because Sanderson does a pretty good job of writing like a bunch of like about like his thoughts about what he was thinking at the time, what's going on with like his family and the feedback he got from his friends and what have you. So I've appreciated that because it gives a lot more insight into what he was thinking in those moments. So yeah, looking forward to that. But right now I don't really have a lot of thoughts, Cool. By the way, my favorite character is Tona.
Katana.
Yeah, I can't remember how they. So anyway, but he's my favorite right now only because he ended up sacrificing himself to be for the to do the test of the seals. So I was like,
okay,
because that could have went sideways real fast depending on what happened. So
yeah. Favorite character for you, Tree?
Yeah, I'll pick Katana as well, actually, because I really don't like fava beans.
Fava beans, yeah.
She's just annoying.
Yeah. Fava is not a fan fave right now. No.
Not gonna pick Shy.
Too shy.
I want to pick Shy.
Yeah.
I do want to pick Shy, but at this moment, I'm a little mad at her.
Yeah, that burning.
He's gonna have to do some explaining.
Burning the artwork thing was pretty rough, though. I mean, I didn't go into like. I feel like your dislike for her in that moment was more than mine, but same thing. I was like, why would you, knowing that this man is never going to be able to reproduce that piece of art?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Or make any new art?
Yeah. Why would you do that? So I'm reserving.
If he's an asshole, then I guess. No, I still don't like it.
No, sir. I just don't like it.
Nope. I don't like it. So there's gotta have to be a reason.
That's shoot. It's taking me. Okay, I got it. No, sir. I just don't like it. It's the horse from Ren and Stimpy. It took me forever to figure out what. I was like, wait a minute.
You got it.
What is that from?
You got it.
The horse from Ren and Stimpy.
The horse from Ren and Stimpy.
No, sir.
No, sir. I just don't like it.
Don't like it. Yeah, there you go.
So far, this book is reminding me of Gentleman Bastards.
Okay.
And I'm just waiting for
which is Scott Lynch?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the Sanderlanche where all of the pieces come together and my mind is blown.
Oh, yeah. Because he's doing a pretty good job of skipping days. He's like, 1, 2, skip a few.
Yeah.
And he'll be like,
next we go to day 42 next, so we skip.
Holy cow, we're gonna skip another 2 weeks almost.
Yeah, 2 weeks almost.
Oh man, and then it's gonna be like, I bet you're gonna get to this like 77, 78, 79, 80. I'm like, holy cow, this guy, he's Sanderlanche us.
Close to it, yeah.
Oh man,
starts skipping fast.
Of course he is.
Yeah. Skippity doodah. Skippity toilet Riz, right? I don't know. What do the kids say these days?
Skibbity.
Skibbity.
Skibbity toilet.
Which actually, yeah, I can do that in personal life. That's hilarious. There's one of my friends has a kid that's a 15-year-old. So of course, I love dropping Gen Z slang as an older guy now, just because I feel like I could be that weird guy that's that's dropping.
Just make it all awkward.
Make it super awkward. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dad, why do you have to bite your weird friends over? I was like, because I got to skip to Ohio Riz. Shut up, kid. And he just looks at me like, Dad, make him stop.
Hush up, boy. I got that Riz.
I got that Riz, yo.
I feel like I was just born that person.
I just love it.
Always been that weird, awkward. I don't know what's hippy dippy.
Hippy dippy. There it is. There we go. That's the winner right there.
I said Skippity the other day in front of my kids. Like my daughter's 4 years old, and I said, and I didn't even know she knew this song. I was like Skippity, and she goes Skippity doo dah, Skippity day. She starts singing the whole song. I was like,
the Outlaw Disney song.
The Outlaw Disney movie. The
whole thing is right. Everything about it. Song, images, everything.
Yeah,
song
I think you can't find it unless.
It's completely.
It's gone. That song itself.
Yeah, you want to find that? You got to go on the eBays, on the internet.
It's the blue board on my shoulders. It's a good song though. Skippity doo.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, any other thoughts? Any other things we're missing?
Nope.
Anything you want to share?
I have one thought that's just been kind of bouncing around, and it goes back to the first day, or I guess the second day. And she is in the cell, and someone else has also been carving things in the wood.
Yeah.
And this cell, she had said, is made for forgers. So I don't know. That's just bopping around. I don't have anything else really to go about it, but I'm kind of like, do we get to find out who that was? Do we get to hear more? Is this the other forager that they convinced that she's like, they have another one?
I feel like there's a lot of Chekhov's gun stuff going on in this story. And I feel like it's all going to come back and tie together. There's just too many little things that were dropped. And I'm like, you know how he does. He drops these like little hints, and then you come back later and find out it's actually like a critical thing, or it's gonna be critical to the execution of the, main, I don't know, subversive heist that happens at the end or something. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like something's going on. I'm waiting for it to be like Ocean's 11, where you come to find out she's like, this was like all part of her master plan, and you come to find out it's like, actually, back in the in the back while you were looking at this, Brad Pitt was actually coming in through the side window, and George Clooney was coming through the sewers.
Oh yeah. That's totally happening. I also just had another thought hit me with the soul of those soul tokens. What are the ones?
The things you were talking about earlier. What is it?
Essence marks.
Essence marks. There you go.
So maybe you don't get any of her backstory or personality or anything like that because they're in the essence marks.
Hey, at this rate, all of it sounds plausible.
Okay, I'm done now, I think.
No, I like your theories. I like your theories because I feel like there's too much unknown right now. So
as
far as I'm concerned, all of it's legit. All of our theories are legit so far.
Yeah. So next week we'll be doing our Monday. Not even next week. In a few days we'll be doing the end of this book.
Yeah.
So 42 through the epilogue. So come join us for that. It should be fun. We'll get all of the answers will not be revealed, but most of the answers will be revealed. The answers for this book are revealed, but it's Cosmere, so there's more little things that are just floating out there. That's the thing about the Cosmere. It's like all these stories are just little microcosms of like the bigger story that's happening.
Of course.
Which eventually I guess we'll get all that because it's not revealed yet. So there's lots of theories. Can't wait till we get 10, 20 years from now when we can finally talk about all of it. Because I don't know what's going to be written over the next. Actually, I do know what's going to be written over the next few years because Branson just released that. So Storm, was it Mistborn Era 3 is next? So,
oh damn! I didn't know there was going to be another Mistborn.
There's going to be 4 eras of Mistborn. So, yeah. So Mistborn Era 3 is next.
Cool.
So we'll see, and then eventually Stormlight 2, Era 2. I don't call it Era 2 because it's like, yeah. So the first 5 Stormlights is like a complete arc, but then there's only like I think it's a 3-year or 5-year gap between that and the next 5 books. So it's not like a true like time shift like a Mistborn. It's just like a.
It's crazy.
Arc and then a whole the arc, but they're all still super related because it's not like hundreds of years difference. Yeah, fun times. And then I can't even say the name of the things that are going to be involved because Tree might know the name, but Alonda doesn't in spoilery. So, anyways, how have you found CosmicReefs.com? Cool website where you have lots of cool stuff like links. Because links are cool because you can click on them, and they take you places that you maybe never been before, like our Patreon or like our Discord. It's
yeah, cool. Patreon, everybody. I need a new microphone.
Merchandise that merchandise that we need to add more to, because we have to
need an extension.
Yeah, we need all the things. So go do all the things. Look at the links. Also, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button. It's like it's one of those things. I always say this every. I say it on Will Reads a lot. I don't know if I've said it here. Like the subscribe button, it's literally free to click on, and you can have unlimited subscriptions. It doesn't cost anything.
Unlimited power.
And you can turn off notifications. This does not hurt the algorithm. You can hit subscribe and then turn off notifications.
Yeah, but not for this one though.
Not for this one, but for anyone else.
Yeah.
Turn on notifications for us, but anybody else, you can turn off. But you can have unlimited subscriptions. It costs $0. So subscribe. Do that cool thing.
Do it.
Do it. What do you think, Yolanda?
It's real.
It's really it's free. Like just move the mouse down. Like done. It's that easy.
All the cool kids are doing it. Skibbity.
All the cool, Skibbity, Ohio. Anyways, find us in all the cool places because we're not cool, and
not even close.
Cool.
To cool.
Not even close.
Not even close to cool.
I mean, maybe you guys aren't, but I'm super cool.
You're super cool.
Tree's cool. Tree's
super cool.
Still young enough that she's still cool. Alana and I have gotten to old fart status. But Tree's.
I've never been cool. I don't even know why I even.
I'm definitely old. I will say that. I don't fart like that though. So.
Tree's definitely the youngest of all of us, but she still can hang with the best of them. So
I'm just a baby.
It's just a babe in the woods, huh? There you go.
Yeah, you guys are cool, but Tree's the coolest. 100% String Flame.
Yeah, absolutely.
We agree.
That all checks out.
Give me a microphone. String, if you would have come on and spit on the microphone, be my guest.
Man,
happy to have
Tree's
you.
eyes got wide.
It took me a minute to be like, spit on the microphone? Wait, you mean like...
No, spit like lines.
Yeah,
it came
like, to me later.
Drop bars. I'm trying to talk all the cool lingo.
I know. Alan's phrase, she was so... Tree, again, your eyes was so wide.
Okay, here's the thing about me. It's deep, dark secret about me is that I am the most innocent person ever, except for I'm actually not, because my brain goes immediately to the dirty thoughts every single time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like really bad dirty thoughts? Like
finger blasting is the best.
There it is. There it is.
That's actually the wrong finger blasting.
I don't have to. You talking about the SpongeBob one?
Yes. That is the correct finger blast.
I forgot about that one. I'm so glad you guys brought that up in my life again. Thank you so much.
I mean, actually, no. I'm actually like a really innocent and wholesome, and definitely don't have a gutter mind.
There you go. That's right. And that's the byline that she lives by.
Yep. Anyways, come check us out, subscribe, do all the fun things. We'll see you guys on Monday. And
see you guys on Monday.
So, until next time, guys.
Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
Gosh dang, gosh dang fresh. Gosh dang, gosh dang fresh.